Third-year coach, second-year coach, locking horns today. This is the starting lineup. And for the first time in their playing careers, the Maraguinot sisters are going to play with each other. Jo said she never thought it would ever happen, but yes, because she said of the age gap, but yeah, it now has happened. And here are the starting 6 for the Fighting Maroons. It is Mai Sotomil who will take over from one of our favorite friends, Ayel Lesterero, who we were chatting with just before we went on the air. And in the meantime, it is Jaja. For the Lady Eagles. Now, we talked about Carlos, we talked about Molde. Alam na natin yan. But you feel the middle is going to be important for UP, Mela. Why?
Yes, because through the years, the other teams have really been eyeing Tots and Isa, and it's frustrating to see them na nagsastruggle ng ganun because they lack, support in their team. Yes, so I think it's about time that they activate their middles, and I think now with their good experience in their Japan training camp, they would have worked on their defense. They could activate the middle some more.
And right away, Mai Sotomil wanted to go to Lori Bernardo, but she had double contact. Maybe a little bit of jitters, Mela. Do you remember your very first time in the UAAP? Hindi naman ganun katagal yun.
Nakabaon na yun.
But your very first time in the UAAP college, do you remember the feeling? Do you remember how you felt at that time?
Well, all I remember, the goosebumps I had.
Okay.
Kasi of course, yung school spirit nandun eh. Pero ito, mukhang it's evident in the UP. Back-to-back errors there from Sotomil and now Molde on that attack error.
2-0 for the defending champions.
And Boom, since we talked about middles, what about Ateneo? Yung open hitters nila last year are now converted to middles in this early part of the set.
At makikita natin yan while the game goes on later. In the meantime, let's go back to Franny Reyes for more on the defending champions.
The Lady Eagles recognize the pressure of defending the crown, but they're not letting it get to them. According to Coach Oliver Almadro, they're only focused on the present and preparing for the present. That's why they competed in the PBL and trained in Japan. It's all about doing the right thing in the moment, and they prepared mentally and physically. Now, before the game, Coach Oliver told them that they have to come in knowing that they're the defending champions, but they're not there yet. The Lady Eagles are going to take on anyone who gets in their way, and it's going to be a joy to watch. Back to you guys.
The season 82 is going to be a joy to watch in general. And of course, as we know, your team, Franny, has their targets in your backs, because that's just how it is when you're a defending champion. 1 serving 3. Ilongga, Mai Sotomil. I go to Bernardo, who showed a lot of promise, not only in the offseason as Maraguinot goes for the cross-court. Molde answers on the other side. Ball is still up. Molde will try again. Somebody touched the net, and I think it is the Cebuana who scraped it, so that is an Ateneo point.
We could see Molde struggling there. Of course, it's Catalentino blocking her, and she almost crossed the center line.
From my position right now, as we see Jo Maraguinot now serving for the very first time, has not played volleyball competitively in almost 2 years, healing from her injuries, her knee injuries and all of that. And she will return to serve because Ateneo is 5-1. I'm looking right now from our angle, Mela. We're here in the middle, and it seems that Mai is still a little bit may kaba ng konti, no?
Kinakapa pa.
Parang
But it's been a series of errors for UP. And although their passing is good, it's more on the attack errors.
Speaking of attacks, that's the first one for Tots. Bumalik kay Kaloy. Bumalik ang bola sa UP. Mai will go and send it to the other side right away. Cat, season opening. And it is 6-1 for the Lady Eagles.
You can see the mid-air decision ni Kat Tolentino doon na magpalit. She was going for that backswing, going for that attack, and then there, she changed for the drop. She saw that wide opening there.
And I think Coach Gotti will call a timeout. Jittery start for the Fighting Maroons. 6-1 is our score.
So many things. We should slow down. Coach, when you're hitting the balls, they are defending line. So try to use in between the blows of the cross court and swing high because their side blows are the tallest. Okay? The middles, keep on running. Where's Jordan? Keep on running, keep on running, keep on running. Okay, Isa, slow down. Okay? Slow down. We need to pass well.
Slow start for the Fighting Maroons. They had a 3-set win over the Ateneo men's team earlier. Kanina nakadoble ang National University. We officially had our first upset of season 82 and NU won over UST in the women's division. And UP looking to try to stay with the men's team in terms of the win today. But right now they're behind as Ravenna sends it back. Kita.
Well, I think that set was too low for Bernardo,
True.
but you know it's a good thing for her because she followed the instruction of Coach Gotti. Sabi kanina ni Coach Gotti sa timeout, the middles just keep running because you know we could see that in their past plays, Kala has been blocked and checked a couple of times, so they really need to activate their middles.
Good serving by Maragino in the meantime. As the score is 7-1. Faith set back by Bernardo. Back to the rookie. And she pounds the pavement. A multi-awarded high school player. She's won the MVP. She's won the finals MVP. She's won a championship repeatedly with National University. So she knows how it is to be under the bright lights. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena, 8-1 is the score for the Lady Eagles. Cap Tolentino doing a Bea De Leon in a sense, remember? Because Bea also last year announced, I don't think I'm going to come back for my final year. And then 6 months after, she decides to do a 180. Same with Cap. May, she announced that well, she's not going to return.
I think it's very common now for volleyball players to announce that they're not gonna come back anymore, especially because meron na tayong mga club teams
Correct.
na malalaroan nila. And you know, Kat explained herself naman na she stayed in college for a long time na and she felt like moving on. But then again, UAAP is very hard to leave, especially when you're defending a crown. So, good thing Kat is back. She's really a joy to watch for us volleyball fans.
True, especially for the Ateneo fans. They're very happy.
And it's better to watch her side by side with fitness Perez, diba?
Yun, I think, is one of the things also that I think the Lady Eagles fans want to see. It's like, at least give us that 1 year that you will play. And imagine also, Mela, the luxury that a fitness Perez comes in. Okay, you are a scorer for sure. You're an MVP, yes. But you come into a team that you're not the #1 option.
Yeah.
So, you
It
can
takes up
still
the
learn.
pressure also,
Yes.
and at the same time, it makes you more confident, diba?
I agree.
High percentage.
Meantime, the struggles continue. 9-2 is our score. Unable to set the Lady or the Fighting Maroons there. 10-2 now is the score as Jesma Ramos has joined the fray.
Everything has been going right for Ateneo. They now have 10 points, 8-point deficit in this game because Jaja Marigino has been doing a very good job. She's been setting the balls to the middle, to the opposite, into the open. So, you know, she's been leaving the UP squad guessing on who she's gonna set.
There is a reason why I think Rep Kahiling also is coming back here for the UP Fighting Maroons, and it is to provide stability on days that maybe Mai Sotomil has not been able to find her footing, and this is her first chance to do so, replacing the sophomore Mai Sotomil. In the meantime, let's go back to Yanni Mayo.
Boom and Mela, I just want to talk about their off-season activity, which is going to Japan to not only develop their skill, but to also get the discipline that Japanese players have. There they have a curfew, a lights-out rule, and only have a lot of time to use their phones. And that's not the only thing that they picked up, as their team pre-game ritual of clapping and jumping to a beat was done in Japan to literally warm them up because they felt so cold there. But now, it's done to energize their team and to center their focus to the game. Later on, we'll also be seeing seeing many chants that the team does when they get a point. And of course, all these chants were done by none other than their energetic team captain, Rosie. Rosie, back to you, Bumanmela.
Unfortunately, Yanni, they have not been able to have a lot of chances to score. But now, maybe this will be the turning point in that long rally, the longest so far of the match. Isa Molde able to find a gap in that block.
So Yanni talked about a cheer that UP does before a game. Even before training. And they're gonna need all those energy in today's game. And as we saw, Isa Molde, a lot of energy on that spike.
A power tip by Faith Nisperos. 12-3. You know, I mean, imagine the team that she was a part of in high school.
Yeah.
Four-time champion. She was, you know, you mentioned the names. Joy Micagante, Princess Robles, another MVP in the finals. Si Cagante is a best setter. You have Micaela Belen, who was also an MVP. You have, of course, Ivy Lacsin, who plays now with NU. Again, another best blocker, middle blocker of NU. Just imagine that collection of talent. For 4 years, they defended the title. She was part of that. So she comes into the college. Yes, it's a different game. We all know that the pressure is different, the spotlight is different. But at least she's used to winning. In other words,
I was gonna say that more than the numbers, what she brings to the table is, of course, the winning tradition.
And used to being hunted, so to speak, di ba?
Being scouted.
Oh, as the captain delivers the goods from the middle there. 13-4 is our score. A dream start for the Lady Eagles.
You can see Pongay Gaston very comfortable in that attack. And you know, she's a multi-awarded middle blocker when she was in high school. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a problem, especially because we're replacing two of the biggest names ng middle blockers ng Ateneo. So I think we need comfortable people to play that job.
As Lapor is in, their beach volleyball player is unable to get it above the net. This is another change for Coach Gotti here, as you see Ayel Castañero. And I guess that expression says it all. Medyo a little
probably wondering. Kasi, you know, we know that UP, di ba, may hashtag pa UP Ikot. They are very energetic, but now their body language is really down in this set.
Jaja to Jo. Denied by Rem Kailing. They're trying to inject some energy here. As you see an AXA No You Can block of the game, courtesy of Rem Kailing.
Yeah, if you're UP, you really wanna, you know, get more touches on the blocks, especially because Jaja Maraginit has been doing a marvelous job setting everybody. So you need to anticipate and read the sets and the attacks better.
That's out. 2 straight points for UP. The first time in a while.
UP is slowly getting their groove in this set. Let's see if they catch up.
Jasmine Ramos. Now let's just make the distinction of players who are returning because they decided to play out their eligibility, as opposed to players who are returning because they left for a while. Diba?
They announced na they won't, and then now they're back.
So Kat Tolentino falls under that description.
So basically, she's a returnee.
Yeah, tapos si Tots at saka si Isa, yan mga nag-decide and then bagong isip. Pero yung mga katulad nila EJ Laure, nila Joe Maraginot, nila Rem Kailing na talagang wala sa lineup, di talaga naglaro.
They missed previous seasons na.
Yun naman ang definition nila of returning. Carlos from the back row. Passport denied by Jules Samonte. 16-6 is the score. We'll take a look at that block, a single block. And then we'll take a break, and we will be back here with more of Season 82 of the UAAP. You are watching us live on the Mall of Asia Arena. This is our last game for our quadruple header for today, Wednesday, UAAP Wednesday. UP Fighting Maroons down 10. And of course, big news coming into the season is the 1-2 punch. Coming back for one more run. They missed out on the Final Four the last 2 years. In their second year, they made the Final Four. That's why expectations were heightened, because they made the Final Four in the second year. Did not make it in the third. And then coming into the fourth year, they won a couple of championships in the off-season. So may expectations
Medyo
na naman.
hype sila that year.
Still serving, Bongkai Gaston.
You know, if there's a player to highlight in this UP team, it's really Tots Carlos. You know, she was number 10 scoring last year, number 8 in digging, and the only UP player in the list sa receiving. And number 4 din siya sa spiking.
And I believe also as Tots there gets it up, her and Molde will show in this season yung mga experience na nakuha nila in the pro leagues also, and all that training and all that experience and exposure as we are in the middle of another long rally. Nisperos from behind. Thoughts? And that will be miscommunication between the players. So another point for the Lady Eagles, 17-6. And Coach Gotti will call another timeout here, looking like it, as their captain, Rosalind Rozier, looks on. So Coach Gotti has burned 2 timeouts, and then we have had 2 technical timeouts as we look at Coach Air Pada. Is in attendance here. Former Adamson coach, and of course, works alongside Coach Gotti
Yeah,
and the PVL.
they're my coach in Moto.
That's right. Service error from Bongkai.
Good timeout there for Coach Gotti. You know, Ateneo is making a streak, so it's about time to break their momentum at least. Get a timeout.
The captain of UP coming in, Rose Rozier, the junior,
Number 19, Rosina
picked by Coach Gotti. See the 7 unforced errors of UP, only 6 points. Picked by Coach Okumu because she's right in the middle to be the bridge between the rookies and the youngsters, the sophomores, and the seniors who have come back. As boy, we have missed that flight of Joe Maraginon. She's always looked like a ballerina when she gets up there. Remember, you know, when she was coming up, she was supposed to be the one who would take over from Eliza Valdez, diba? When Eliza would graduate, siya yung ka-diagonal ni Eliza. Then Eliza graduated, she was supposed to be the one. That was the pressure on her. But unfortunately, also knee injuries hampered her last season. But despite that, she was still the 6th best scorer of the league. And what luxury also for her, Mela, that she comes back not having to be the number 1 scorer again.
Marami sila. They are actually sharing the load, and I don't think they are pressured right now. Oh, because when you watch them, they look so, you know, light.
You're right. And they've always been a great blocking team. They were the best last year, and Cap Tolentino with a kill block there. Kitang-kita.
You know, that's the big question for the volleyball fans. With the departure of Malayag and Bede Leon, would they still be the, you know,
Wanted.
Oo, kasi when you say Ateneo, ang unang maalala dyan, blocking eh. Diba? So, I think, ngayon si Samonte, she had a single block on Tots Carlos earlier. I don't think na for them it's a problem. It's more of the system ng blocking for Ateneo.
So it's 20-8. Now, even if, Mela, you've been part of something like this for sure. Even if, let's say, the set is slipping away, if you're the team behind, you don't want to give it away pa rin, ano? Because dadalhin mo yung ganung parang negative momentum going into the second set. So if you're UP, you gotta keep fighting here and try to build some sort of flow, especially on the offense. But Cat Tolentino not allowing it in that sequence.
And at the same time, we haven't been seeing the strength of UP. Parang at this point, all that we're seeing are their errors. So I think the first step is to play to their strengths, and that is, you know, basing it on last year, it was their dig. Diba? Kasi there again, nag-miss yung blockers doon sa atake ni Fitness Peros, but there should be someone on the floor ready for that ball.
Offense is not a problem for this Lady Eagles team. The blocking, it's still to be judged in the games to come, but just judging from the names and how we're looking at them today, offense is not a problem for this team. Tolentino. That will be
Tolentino.
block out. So check out. So that means Ateneo inching closer to a first set win. It is 23-8 right now. Not the start that the UP fans wanted, especially nakita mo sila kanina nagkakagulo after that men's win earlier. They were in such a high. Nice play there for UP.
Finally, a combination play for the UP Fighting Maroons. You know, they have to utilize Isa when she's there in front because she does a lot of, 3 and 4 na mga atake, just like the one we saw, and she angles it perfectly. So they really need to set her up more when she's in front.
Some momentum to end this set. Bernardo. And a chance ball, free ball for UP. Rem go behind. And it is Molde, back-to-back scores for Isa Molde. And the fans behind us from the UP side try to cheer them up.
Again, on point boom, the combination play worked well in that past 2 points for UP. And like I mentioned, Isa Molde, she can get all the angles done. Just set her the ball.
It's a nice serve. Romal. And another free ball going to UP side. Go behind to touch.
Whoa.
That's 3 straight points for the Fighting Maroons. And like I said, even if the probability, Mela, of them losing the set is high because they are, I think it's 2 points away. You want to build something.
And a lot of teams have done this, play catch up, diba? And when pressure is there, kapag tuloy-tuloy mo na habol, when you make a streak, you could still manage to get away with an upset dito sa set na to.
What about that? They do it defensively too, as they provide a wall against Cap Tolentino. 4 straight points, an 11-point lead now for the Lady Eagles. Double block on the best opposite spiker.
Good things starting to come by here for UP.
Aldo serves again. Faith.
Good defense.
Rozier was there to dig. Molde on the other side. Doromal. Ja to Faith. This time she puts a little heat on that one.
Faith Nisperos again introducing herself to the UAAP. And when I said Isa could work with her angles, so can Faith Nisperos with power.
Finals MVP, season MVP, best attacker, champion, you name it. Pumatong si Molde and gets a point, delays.
Again, now boom, they are finally playing to their strengths. And nabanggit ko kanina, yung dig, yan yung mga strength nila from last year. They were #1 in digging last year. And, if they just put up the ball, they can set up a lot of combination plays because they have very able spikers naman to do so.
Rem Kailing has provided a little bit of stability, Mela, dito sa UP Fighting Maroons. But Ateneo Lady Eagles will not be denied here in the first set, especially after a commanding lead, Mela. And that set was brought to you by Gatorade. You play, we fuel. The defending champions ahead 1-0 here in match number 3, day number 2 on your UAAP Season 82 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Lording it over the UP Fighting Maroons in the first set. Yes, for those of you who are wondering, UP Fighting Maroons, that's the moniker for them already. That's what we're going to call the former Lady Maroons. Okay, so Mela, take us through that first set. What happened? What good things can we talk about? What negative things happened in that first set, especially for the UP Fighting Maroons?
Well, everything went well for Ateneo. They don't have any pressure in that set, especially because even in the early part of the set, UP has been helping them gather points because of their unforced errors. So from that, they were able to pull away. And when you have a big lead, you just move so light. So we saw that in Ateneo because everything was on point nga for them. Their blockings, their attacks, and Jaja Maraginot. I've been talking off air about Jaja Maraginot because she's been setting everybody, and he left the UP blockers you know, guessing
Yes.
who to block talaga kasi she made everyone shine in that first set. And for UP naman, you know,
Medyo nakabawi sa dulo. And
they rallied a little bit, but still their errors, still too much for that set.
a very tight start, so to speak, for the Fighting Maroons, especially for the sophomore Maisa Tamil. Obviously, a little pressure on her shoulders. Ayala Estraniero is now out. Rem Kailing, who finished for the UP Fighting Maroons, who came up with 7 errors in that set. At one point, they had 6 points and 7 errors. They limited those errors towards the end. As you see, hindi na nila dinagdagan yun. Kaya medyo nakapunto sila ng konti. And hopefully for the UP fans watching, that's something to build on going into set number 2. Kind of feel for Maisa Tamil, you know, she's here and in the big stage. She had a moment last year, by
Yeah.
the way, when remember when Ayala Estraniero was sent to the hospital? I forget if it was their 3rd game, but it was against UST. And all of a sudden, before the game, she just found out that, hey, I have to play center. I have to be the center for the whole game. As you look at the leading scorers for both schools, she came up with 32 excellent sets. They played very well against UST. Even Coach Kung Fu, siya yung sininggle out na pinuri ni Coach Kung Fu for Maisa Tamil. So we all know she's won an MVP in her high school days. She's won a best setter in high school days. Hotly recruited. So we know what that girl is capable of doing.
Definitely. And you know, we just can't speak for her right now, but the pressure talaga
Oh my
that
God.
the UAAP,
Just imagine.
diba?
Was there
But
any moment in your career, Mela,
let's not talk about that, those moments. Boom, kung na-pressure ba ako, let's not talk about that.
na wala namang specific. Huwag mo nang ipunto yung day or ano, but you're speaking in general terms.
Yeah, but
it
yeah,
can get to a
in sports in general, you know, intangibles really play a big factor. And you know, they mentioned the course reporter mentioned today na they were doing sports psychology sessions. They were strengthening their mental toughness.
Right.
And you know, Maisa Tamil just have to set her focus right now because we don't know, she could still come back in this game.
Oh, for sure. If not this game, there are other games to play, of course, for UP. At nandyan si Ate Ayen para
Support.
to support, to settle her down. In the meantime, it's 1-1 here. Jaja to Kat. A chance here for UP. Underhand by Chestnut. Cross court. Doromal was there. Faith. Cross court. A bullet sent back, but it is out. Boy, the force of Faith Nisperos.
You know what I love about Faith Nisperos is that when you set her, she hits it right away. Kasi may mga spikers na just to make their attacks powerful, they would wait, they would do their backswing para magkaroon ng force yung kanilang atake. But si Faith, sobrang bilis niyang pumalo at sobrang lakas.
Ganun din ang sagot ni Tots Carlos as we send it over to Franny Reyes from the Ateneo side.
You guys mentioned Kat Tolentino as our top scorer right now, but I did get to talk to her about the team, and she told me it has a lot more depth than last year's team. It's a versatile and well-balanced team. Everyone can adjust their roles. We're seeing that in Jaja Maragan. Their roles. We're seeing that. Jaja Maraganot and Faith Nisperos, the latter of which told me that this team wants their character to be transition. And they can be a transition team if they have good service and defense, which we saw in the first set. Now they're going to continue to do that. They can't let that character falter and keep the energy up to dominate the rest of this game. Back to you guys.
You know, I mentioned this, Franny, yesterday, and I always mention it every year. As much as we are sad that a lot of great talent graduate or leave the UAP, in honesty, there will always be, you know, new names and sometimes greater talent because of the example that the
it's more
previous
inspiring the younger generation
right.
also.
I mean, I know the Ea Laures and the Faith Nisperos of the world were all obviously influenced by other players before them, and when they come into the college scene, you know, they deliver the goods. Just like Tots did when they were rookies. With Isa Molde, who's a former Rookie of the Year.
There we can see Tots Carlos targeting the rookie, Faith Nisperos.
With her own jump serve, she has really mastered.
Parang sabi niya, ganito. Kasi previously, before Tots served, ito si Faith, diba? Nag-error sa kanyang jump serve.
It's a great reception though by Faith. Kailing sends it to the other side. Maraginot reverses to Kat. Hinabol ni Rem. Tots from behind. That is out and it's long. So we're tied here. Better start though for UP. We are tied here at 4-all as Jules Samonte marches back in and Pongay Gaston will serve.
They set is tied at 4.
Captain. Rem chooses Jesma, who was asking for it. Oh, that's double. Good idea though.
Yeah.
For the running attack for Jesma for variety, but lumusot sa kamay. There. Very obvious.
Kita natin, it's really the setting that's missing for UP right now.
So far. 5-4. Ja looks at Jules and then opens up to her older sister, and it scratches or grazes rather one of the UP players.
And you know, we could see the attacks of Ateneo. Kung hindi, sobrang linis. Talagang in between the blocks dumadaan because the blockers are really late, and you have to credit Jaja Maraginot for those kinds of attacks.
Opens up to Ate again. This time it is out.
Attack goes
Boy,
out.
but she is jumping like she has not missed a beat. Well, first of all, she did say that she is completely healed from any kind of physical discomfort or injury.
And you can see it in her swing. It was really in full swing.
6-5 is our score. UP serving here. Let's check in with Yanni Mayo.
Woman, Mela, a while ago, you were talking about how Mai Sotomil needed to set her focus in the game. And she told me that she actually sometimes feels pressure and the nervousness. That isn't avoidable, but of course, she won't let that keep her down. She actually asked Ayel Estraniero for tips because she does feel overwhelmed at times being the setter of the team. And she told her, Ayel told her rather, to just filter out the information, take in the remarks that will help her improve, and filter out the noise. She just needs to concentrate on her development and block out the negative comments. Back to you, Bumanela.
Thank you very much, Yanni. That's the best person to ask.
Filipino.
You're always accessible to the UP players. She's right here, right now. Ayel Estraniero, of course.
You know, she's actually interning with the sports psychology program of UP. Kaya talagang everyday nagpupunta yan sa UP training si Ayel.
Yeah, and when you ask all the rookies and sophomores, sino yung mga nag-aalalay sa kanila?
Si
Sino?
Ate Ayel.
Always, di ba? Even if it's a middle blocker like Glory Bernardo, si Ayel lagi ang kanilang tinuturo. In the meantime, dump ball there. And Ateneo gets to the technical timeout first, this time with a little more resistance from the UP Fighting Maroons though. 8-6 is our score. We are back with you here on SNA for more of UAAP Season 82. Women's volleyball division, that's Kat Hembrador, our Silka stunner of the game here inside the Mall of Asia Arena. 8-6 is our score. Boom Gonzalez, Carmela Tunay joining us here on the panel for the very first time for UAAP analysis work, and she has been spot on here in this game between Ateneo and UP. Ateneo ahead by 2 as Maraginot comes up short on that swing.
You know, if you're Ateneo, you don't want to make these enforced errors, especially because UP is having a better start this set as compared to the first set.
Baga binibigyan mo ng kumpiyansa itong UP by committing these errors.
Yeah, and we saw Tots Carlos kanina, medyo she's in her element in this set. So you wouldn't want to be a bit complacent, but you know, no signs of complacency in that attack right there by Jo Maraginot.
In her element, baka mo sabi ni Jo. She's right back where she belongs, really.
Look at that spike reach. Ang taas ng kamay niya dun sa attack niya.
That's a beautiful form, isn't it? We have some...
What do they call her? The Iron Claw?
Ganun ba?
Yeah.
Because of that Kung Fu style.
Oo, yung kamay niya before
Linis,
hitting
We have some great attackers here. Tots, of course, and Isa Molde on this side. Kat Tolentino and Jo Maraginot on the other side.
Again, Jaja Maraginot just using everyone, making everyone shine and look good in this game.
So setting advantage has been on the Ateneo side so far. Coach Godfrey Ukumu calls this time out.
Swinging everything from the right to the left, they go cross court. All right? What we are doing, we are leaving the seam here. We ask the wingers to drift in a little bit. You seal the seam. Don't leave the seam open so that they can bring the balls clean. Anything that goes around in between the seam, we cannot get it. Okay? That's one. Two, our passing. All right? Everything's almost out of system. So you have to be ready to swing. If you're here, you have to be ready to swing here. They're playing with you, so go on. And slow down on the block for jumping. When you jump, slow down. Okay? You beat. Slow down.
Tim Fajardo, Majoy Baron. From the Lady Spikers who will debut on Saturday. Yes, and the very proud mom. If there's anybody who's happy right now, I mean the Laure parents and
Always
the mom
present.
of
For sure, the mom of the Maraginot sisters
Yun na
will...
nga. Because for the first time, she sees her daughters play together in competitive action and doing very well too. 10-8 is our score after that hitting error for Kat Tolentino.
Very seldom hitting error
you're
by
very
Kat
right.
Tolentino.
UP in this one though. They're slowly getting confident as Mai Sotomil might return. I see her sit by the assistant coach of UP as Nisperos finds a crack in that wall.
If you take a look back at that play, nakita natin nag-pause yung mga UP blockers before jumping because in the timeout, sabi ni Coach Gotti, slow down. And actually, ang ganda ng timing nila on that block para kay Faith Nisperos. But then, you know, Faith Nisperos, the smart player that she is, dun niya pinalo dun sa forearm ni Tots Carlos.
And another point for Ateneo here, 11-8. And what Ateneo also has done, Mela, so far is silence this crowd behind us who were so noisy and excited when we came in because of that men's win earlier. Parang nasira yung momentum nila right now. They're looking for some great play so that they can cheer again. Valentino not allowing it right now. 12-8 is our score.
Again, the blocking of UP, you know, still hasn't been that in sync for their team. And now we see Mai Sotomil, coming back in. Will try to set the tone for the game of UP.
Baka nakatulong sa kanya ng konti.
Yung perspective watching from the outside.
Pakalma ng konti. Let's see. Ilonga will try her luck here, second time around for UP, but it's in the hands of the Lady Eagles in white and blue. Tolentino, the door shut.
Talk about blocking there, Carlos. Have the timing, the anticipation, and makikita mo doon niya sa kabilang side kinuha. Hindi pa napapahalo ni Tolentino yung bola. Her hands were already on the side of Ateneo for that block.
They had some great momentum with Bernardo serving earlier. Let's see if that can spark them again. That right on cue service ace.
It's a better response for the UP squad because kanina ang laki talaga nung lamang na nagagawa ng Ateneo because they let them make streak of points. Pero ngayon when Ateneo scores 1 or 2, they would come back with a point as a response.
Another good serve, but Joe was up to the task. Speros in the middle. That's over. Up and over. No touch.
goes
2
down.
straight points again with Bernardo delivering some really good serves. This former Kings Montessori School standout
Timeout at the
has
center
given them
angle.
some life here in set number 2.
Okay, again, ulit. I want right timing. You're pumasok ka lang para masabi lang pumasok wala sa timing. I need timing. Do you understand? We don't need spectacular play. We just have to execute it properly, Kat. I don't need spectacular play. You have to execute properly. That's it. We have to do it right. Expect muna. Nag-serve na si Bernardo kanina. Alam mo lang, tatagit dyan. Pa-forward na kayo. Walang mahaba eh. Okay, come on, girls. Go back. Hey, we have to go back. Go back right away.
That is the first timeout of Coach Oliver Almagro here. As-
Dami ng exposure ni Angela.
Sabi ko-
Kanina pa ha.
Di ba kanina hinata ko nga? Sabi ko, samahan na niya tayo dito. Gia Morado, of course. And Dina Wong.
Look at the pool of setters in here.
Ang kanyang kapatid, of course. There in the middle, in between some great setters.
Dina, Gia.
Dina, of course, not able to play with her shin stress fracture as this time passport denied as UP shuts the door there courtesy, I believe, of Jesma Ramos.
And look at the respect that UP has been giving Faith Nisperos. Kanina, before the timeout, they were gonna do a they did a triple block on her. And ngayon naman, they really guarding her and acknowledging her talent. And here, speaking of talent, of course, Kat Tolentino up for the challenge in rallying her team, win this set.
We're so happy to see all these players back, right? Horbeck, Tots, and Tolentino. Thank you. We say thank you for
Dapat
coming
10
back.
years ang eligibility ng UAAP.
O, Jesma Ramos naman ang sumagot mula sa UP 13 will be serving 14.
Finally, a good set there from Mai Sotomil. And yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Kumo kanina na middles, just keep running. Kasi yung setters na yung bahala magbigay sa kanila ng bola, no matter the reception. And it was effective for them. And one more thing that's effective for UP right now, they're blocking.
And Jesma Ramos is starring in that role. Ayan, now na I can hear the noise from behind us, Mela, nagsisimula na magising. The crowd behind us as they have tied the ball game 14-all and Moldes serving again and they target Maraguinot once again. Tolentino, soft attack. Nisperos, binigyan ng regalo.
Faith Nisperos, the rookie, winning that joust against the veteran Tots Carlos.
No, UP has not been able to take the lead yet.
Yeah, but definitely it's a better set for them.
Definitely. After the 1-0 kanina, as Faith goes for the jump. Dorog was there, but Bongay makes sure na wala ng balikan. And it all starts from that jump serve. 16-14 is our score. Back inside the Mall of Asia Arena. And the fans of UP now trying to really get their team going here. They lost the first set and lost it big. Started off really better here in the second set and have a little more momentum. Eternal Ateneo fan.
Yes, the ever supportive.
Sobras. All these years. All part of this crowd here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Ms. Erica Lee, of course, from the Ateneo side of things also. As her team is up a set and 2 points, 16-14. A pick up by Sotomil, and that will be Ateneo point.
Point goes to the Lady Eagles.
So now 17-14.
UP now having a problem with the reception. Kanina it was their blocking, then they found a solution for that, and now it's the reception that's been, being a problem for them in this set.
Again, a really good serve. Uy, ang baba nun.
Attack goes out.
So this is now an 4-point lead, and I believe Coach Godby will challenge this one.
Block touch.
We saw Jesma really insisting na, Coach, there was a check.
Sinasabi niya, no? So this is the first time that we're going to have to use the challenge system here in this match, in this UP Ateneo match. Just a few reminders that challenge may be requested for certain situations only. Ball in or ball out for side and end lines. Lock touch, contact with the ball by the player. Net fault also is one of them. Antenna touch is one of them, and a foot fault. So just the situations that will entertain the challenge by the coaches. Those are limited to those 5 categories.
But the most used among all those are, syempre, ball in, ball out, and block touch.
Touch.
Ang kagandahan nito is kahit yung kuko mo lang ang gumalaw, makikita because they have a slow-mo feature for the challenge system. So let's see if there was really a check ball on that attack by Jesma Ramos.
So our first referee is Choi Bukid. Already signaled that it was an Ateneo point. So the replay or the slow-mo that you're talking about has to be conclusive to show whether challenge is good or not. But those are some of the reminders when you talk about the video challenge system. Our first referee, Choi Bukid, communicating with Eli De Jesus, and they're all awaiting. We're still looking at it here, the technical table right beside us. It's shown in. Okay, here we go. Jesma said she was sure. Oh, that's a tough one, Bella. Looks like, initially it looks like there was, but pag binalik yung bola pa ganun, parang wala. So, no. So that means the point will be awarded to Ateneo. So, the call sticks, 18-14.
So now UP is only left with 1 challenge in this set.
Faith has been serving for a while now as Molde gets it through. Hawkeye with a bomb from the middle.
This has been the question of the volleyball community, if the middle game will be the same for Ateneo, but you know, Samonte and Gaston proving that they could still bring it
Again,
in that middle side.
Yeah, we mentioned that just to put what Mela is saying in context again because of the loss of Maddie and Beadel. Yun po ang pinag-uusapan. Sinong papalit sa gitna. So far, so good for the Lady Eagles.
And both Samonte and Gaston have been very aggressive on the net. The overballs. Talagang they take charge of those balls crossing the net.
Namagana to, Mela. We are now at a 6-point lead, 20-14.
Substitution for UP number 19.
And the UP Fighting Maroons make a substitution. Jewel Encarnacion will come in. Speaking of, Maddie.
Oh, flexing. Mari Madayag.
Even as she has left Ateneo, she's still flexing.
It's definitely a proud moment for her. Watching, you know, the middle of Ateneo step up for the team.
Encarnacion is over on her attack, so now it is up to a 21-14 score, and Coach Godby will call a timeout. A lot to talk about from the Fighting Maroon side.
Why don't you just stay a little bit lower and wait for the ball from the lowest place possible? we are halfway standing. So when that ball comes, we go down with it. So we can't get it there on time. All right? And the guys in front, don't be afraid. You use the blocks, use the hands when you're swinging. You can't spike over the block. Use the hands. Okay? What about yes? And come to me alone. You be
So what happened, Melo? Why all of a sudden this lead has ballooned to 7? By the way, it's a 7-0 run. We were tied at 14. This was a tight match. UP was in it. So what changed?
Yeah, we kept mentioning how this was a better set for UP, but then again, unforced errors happened. Started with their reception. Kahit hindi mag-ace yung server ng Ateneo, they were receiving it to the court of Ateneo, kaya nakailang atake din yung mga middles ng Ateneo sa mga over-receive ng UP.
Easily taken and dug up by Faith.
Great defense there by Dorog.
What a dive by Dorog. Tots gets it through and puts it away.
There's that familiar swing from Tots Carlos. Swing pa lang, alam mo na.
Na mabigat yung kamay.
Oo.
And you know she's gonna go for the jump serve. UP last year 5-2 in the first round and then only won 1 in the second round.
A great effort there by Dorog, taking on those powerful hits from Ateneo.
Bumalik sa UP. Jesma will set it.
Ooh. Again, setting has been the biggest problem for UP in this game. They've put in Sotomil, Kailing.
22-15 is our score. Sayang yung pagkakataon na yun. Balik sa Ateneo ang pagkakataon to serve. 22-15. Over-receive. And Samonte does the right thing by putting it away right away.
Again, yung reception ng UP has been a problem for them because ang dami nang napuntos ng Ateneo from those mga over-receptions na naa-atake ng mga middle blockers nila. So,
we were tied at 14 all earlier. And what a run so far. But this time, the run and gun play was stopped by Encarnacion and by Jesma Ramos.
good anticipation there by the blockers of UP. Encarnacion making up for her error earlier. Yung timeout ni Coach Gotti kanina sa kanya dinirect parang was under the ball on her last attack. But she made up for it in block.
Sotomil didn't serve it to or set it to anyone, but it looks like it's going back to the UP side for another chance. Mai goes up. Encarnacion unable to put it away. Jo nakita ni Tots. Sotomil back to Ju. Ju changes her mind. Faith from behind. Tots was there. Mai will go for the 1-2. Samonte was there.
Ooh.
Blocked by Bernardo. Toromal will set it up to Tolentino. Molde. Sotomil. Tots from behind. Checked at the net. And after a long rally, that block gets Ateneo to set point here. It's set number 2 to the jubilation of Coach Oliver Alvandro.
You could see the sigh of relief from Ateneo. That was the longest rally in this game.
Jules Samonte, ano yun, naka-block.
Kung makikita natin talagang yung branding ng block ng Ateneo, nandun pa rin talaga.
And those were the questions, as you mentioned, coming into the game.
Yeah, so definitely they lost height, but they did not lose the blocking.
JRS Express play of the game. 24-17. Set point saved. And a chance to go 2 sets to love. It's in the hands of Maraguinot. Not this time. Sotomil opens up to Molde, who's in front. It's sent back. And it is that blocking that gives them the second set. 25-17 after a tight start to this second set. Bumitaw itong mga defending champions. The set was brought to you by Gatorade. You play, we fuel. We are coming right back with set number 3. Can UP come back? Let's all find out together. Anthony only coming up with 2 blocks in that second set, but the block that mattered was the one that ended that second set. Now, a better start for UP in the second set. Now the question is, can they sustain it all the way till the end? Earlier today, NU winning against UST in both the men's and women's. Elisa Valdez, who was here also doing the game yesterday, she was here doing that NU-UST game. And then in the afternoon sessions, the UP Fighting Maroons winning in straight sets against the Ateneo Blue Eagles. And the Fighting Maroons of the women's division are hoping na magtuloy-tuloy yung double-double win. Pero mahihirapan sila ngayon. Pero sabi nga natin, Mela, pagdating sa volleyball, hanggat hindi ka nakatatlong set, di pa tapos ang laban. And we've seen a lot of comebacks here in the UAAP.
But you know, you can't just come back without doing anything.
Correct,
And you really have, if you're UP, you really have to change a lot of things right now because the team looks very unorganized.
Thoughts? Maraguinot was there to dig. Hinabol ni Kat, and Dorog was there. Mai goes behind to Carlos, and Carlos
Attack error.
ababa ang palo. So first point for Ateneo.
And you know, you could see Mai Sotomil having a lot of confidence in Tots Carlos, setting her in the back line. And speaking of confidence, ito naman si Jaja Maraguinot oozing with confidence.
Simple-simple, no?
Yeah, and if you watch her, you can see how calm she is.
Yeah. No flash, no...
Yeah, really just gets the job done.
Correct, yeah. No extra movements, no nothing, just efficient in her setting today.
And you know, numbers don't lie. Nakita natin kanina sa atake, ang laki ng disparity between the attacks of Ateneo and UP, and we have to credit Jaja Maraguinot for that.
The 1-2 punch being Tolentino and Desperos leading the way. Carlos and Molde with 7 and 5. Of course, you add on to that the sprinkling of points of Maraguinot and Bongay and Samonte every now and then. They're up 2 sets to love. Bernardo swings it to the other side. Doromal. The cat over the blockers. Thoughts will go high to Molde, but that's too close to the net.
That was a tough angle for Isa Molde and a tough set from Tots Carlos. And you know, you can't set the ball too close to the net, especially when you're going up against Kat Tolentino as your blocker.
2 serving 1. The returning Jo Maraguinot with a great account of herself today. Too easy there. The score for Jules Samonte. 3-1. Make that 2-1 as our score as we check in with Franny Reyes.
They ended that first set strong, but that second set didn't come as easy for the Lady Eagles. Yes, everyone is doing their jobs, but there's still stuff to improve on, like reception, which became an issue for them. Now, Coach O wants them to react faster on defense and coverage, but more importantly, for them to play smart and really utilize their strengths. On the offensive end, Coach wants them to increase their intensity and the fluidity of their plays. Now, let's see if the Lady Eagles can make these adjustments and finish this match. Back to you guys.
Fluidity is the word right there. They are flowing right now, especially on offense. Carlos. Avena. To Jules. Oh, that's a beautiful set.
No blocker there from UP. No one guarded Samonte on that attack, and we have to credit that point to Jaja Maraguinot, rather.
You're right. She really faked it too. She was already setting the ball on her way down, Bella.
And di ba yung excellent set, kinakount yan kapag naiwan yung blocker. Ito, super excellent set kasi walang blocker.
Bustrillo.
Great coverage there.
The opposite spiker who replaces Tots Tolentino here as Coach Gotti is now looking for, searching for an answer for anything here in this match. I think he's going to call a timeout. 6-1 is the score. No, they're not going to allow it, says Choi Bukid, our first referee. Castillo again.
Yeah, different faces there inside the court for UP. Meanwhile, in the Ateneo side, they are currently talagang naka-stick lang sila sa solid 6 nila.
You're right. Why change it?
Oo nga. And, you know, UP still hasn't gotten that mix of players na talagang magde-deliver for them in this game. We've seen sparks though, but
Wala yung tuloy-tuloy consistency.
on the other hand, Ateneo looking like a well-oiled engine in this game.
Two straight points though for UP now. 3 to 6. Let's check in with Yanni Mayo. Yanni?
Boom and Mela, Coach Godfrey Akumu has been reiterating in the past timeouts that the girls are not doing what they practiced. Coach sounded very frustrated while expressing that and said that the girls need to remember their training because they prepared for Ateneo. While assistant coach Eric Cubaldo mentioned that they just need to set the rhythm. He said that the girls need to remember that the most effective play may be the simplest one. Instead of experimenting, according to Coach Akumu, they need to play with their head. Back to you, Boom and Mela.
Very much, Yanni. There's still a lot of time, a lot of volleyball to play, but they got to start
With the
right
basics.
now. Yeah. Gonna call a violation there on Mai Sotomil.
Illegal attack on the Fighting Maroons.
Now you see you have Sotomil, you have Bustrillo, you have
First technical timeout.
Encarnacion.
The youngsters
Yep.
fielded in for UP.
There's a technical timeout now with Ateneo ahead.
Technical timeout.
8-3 is our score, and the defending champions are looking good here in their first match. As you look at the Fudgy Bar, O-Bar Sasaya, and of course watching this with very interested eyes, Mela, are the De La Salle Lady Spikers who will make their debut on Saturday against the defending champions.
Ooh,
Chesma Ramos, who played very well, by the way, at the start of the second
that's
set.
the first solid middle hit that we've seen for UP. Great elevation there by Jess Ramos.
Lead is 4.
And you know, among the players dito sa UP, si Jess may napapansin ko na mukhang confident among them, di ba? And a lot of them have been looking like they're getting jitters. Meanwhile, dito naman sa Ateneo, no signs of jitters para dito kay Faith Nisperos again on that attack.
Like I said, she's used to, you know,
Big
part of big
games.
games, winning tradition, being in the spotlight, being #1 option. And that batch of players that she was playing with in high school. Just an incredible load of talent as Jesma continues to hit well here, except for that moment, medyo malakas, but it was a good idea though. Are they gonna challenge that? Oh, they are gonna challenge it, I believe.
By the Fighting Maroons. Block touch.
So the block touch is what they're challenging. Hey, you're Coach Gotti and you think so, you need all the points that you can get if you...
And you might get lucky, you know, kasi
Right,
minsan
exactly.
hindi niya naman nakikita yan di ba? But, you know, there's no harm in trying. And at the same time, it could help you also cut the momentum of your opponent. Kasi, you know, the coaches only get 2 timeouts. So, itong challenge ito, syempre, it has a process and it's additional time for the team to relax, also to refresh their minds.
Very
And,
good point.
diba?
So
Cut the momentum.
you're saying, and not necessarily for this situation, but you're saying that sometimes it can be used as a
Yeah.
strategy to,
Oo.
so muna kayo dyan, halt momentum of the other.
Especially kapag wala ka ng
Wala na
timeout,
magawa.
diba? Pag wala ka ng timeout.
Yes.
Just to, you know, make your players relax.
Well, that's what they do in basketball also. So,
You'll take all the chance you can get.
Especially
And
kung
for now,
naghahabol
it's the
ka.
challenges them.
yeah, naghahabol ka. Again, there are only 5 categories that can be considered under the video challenge system incorporated for the very first time here in the UAAP season 82. Ball in, ball out for the side and end lines. And the block touch is one of the more common ones. What do you see, Mela? Meron pa? Wala, mukhang wala.
Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was
So that is out. So that means Jesma Ramos's attack was long. That means it's an Ateneo point, 10-4.
Inuulang lang ng snap ng wrist kasi you could see in that challenge. Kaya hindi siya nag-block touch kasi medyo late si Ponga in blocking that running attack. So it would have been a very effective play for UP. Medyo kinapos lang.
Attacking error from Ju Encarnacion.
And you know, if you're UP, if you want to stay alive in this game, you can't just collapse like this. And katulad noon, nagkaroon ng error si Jesma and then another one from Encarnacion.
It's a long serve for Kat Tolentino, and one last one for her here in the UAAP as the Cebuana Steph Bustrillo will serve. No. That's Carlos will come in for her.
I was wondering why Tot was holding two numbers. Ayun pala, 20 plus 4, 24.
Walang 24, so 20
Oo,
plus
malayo
4.
na kasi, di ba? 12 lang yata yung yung sa substitution or 16, something like that.
Gotta be creative, ha? Dorog.
Kala ko dalawa papalitan niya.
Kat. Dorog takes it. So Tamil will go to Dots. Seen there by Maraguinot. But a chance ball or free ball? No. Well, you're down. You're up 2 sets. You're up 5 points. You can take a chance every now and then.
Yeah, and you know, she has that luxury naman, and we know she's gonna make up for it after this. That was a tough set also for her. It was off the net. Didn't have the time to really approach the ball.
Pero sinugal pa rin, ano? She still went for it. Miscommunication between Pongay and Jaja. Very rare, at least in this game where Ateneo came in very focused. Lam Kailing will come back here for Mai Sotomil.
Number 1, Sotomil out. Number
Returning
16,
for UP, not only for this year, but returning also because she replaced Mai Sotomil earlier in the first set. This is not yet a done deal for Ateneo. Especially if Tots comes up with some brilliant serving here.
And you know, we were talking about earlier, kapag nilalabas ka sa game, you see a better perspective when you come back. That's, I think, exactly what happened to Tots right there.
Nagalit si Coach O. Pakinggan natin.
Come on, uli, pangalawa, hindi malakas yung sinaserve. It's top spin. Ang problema kasi, after a point, you want to make it a point right away. Anong gagawin at the moment? Yun muna. Be specific. We have to receive first. Come on, kung nagawa nyo kanina ng maayos, magagawa nyo ulit ng tama. Be better than your best. Come on.
Only the second timeout called by Coach O in this whole match so far. Hasn't been threatened too much, but right now, little momentum from the UP Fighting Maroons.
Sarap din talaga makinig sa timeout ni Coach O. Parang ang dami yung mapupulot. Earlier in that timeout, he was talking about how Ateneo was rushing everything na mapunta agad dun sa resulta, which is the point. They forget about the process. Kaya nagsiscramble sila during the situations in the game because they are focused on the result. But you know, when you work hard for the point, ayusin mo yung pass mo, yung set mo, the result comes. Kagaya na lamang dito sa atake ni Faith Espero.
Miss-hit na nga, no? Pero nakapuntos pa rin. Inulang na lang, pakabila. Now we'll see that jump serve from the rookie. Set back by Encarnacion. Raja going for the 1-2. Encarnacion sasagot. There's nobody who touched. So Ateneo will get the point, 13-8.
Again, the errors of UP starting to pile up again. That is why Ateneo is pulling up away in this set. Nina, medyo nakadikit na eh. But again, the over-reception of UP, di pa rin nila nahahanapan ng solusyon.
Rem, the Tots, long ball, chance ball. Rem looks at Ramos but sets it up for Encarnacion. A good fake by Rem.
Now finally a point converted there for Encarnacion. She had a couple of attempts, but in that last game, power, in that last play, power yung ginamit niya. You can see she was also guarded by 2 blockers, but that hit was just too strong for the Ateneo blockers.
Desma Ramos catches the net. So now it's 14-9.
The score, 14-9.
Bongay serving. Jewel a little bit underneath that
Attack
ball.
goes out.
Actually, in Coach Gotti's previous timeouts, na-remind niya na eh si Encarnacion about being under the ball when she attacks.
But this is back to a 6-point lead. Rem keeps it alive and Molde sends it to the Ateneo side. Jaja chooses Samonte. Rem chooses Bernardo.
Ooh.
Bernardo.
Finally, Bernardo joining the scoreboard for UP. And you know, it's hard to guard a lefty na middle blocker, middle attacker dahil ang dami niyang angles na pwede makuha. And nakita natin doon, she was facing right and dropping it to the left. A lot of promise here for Bernardo, but she has to rally her team as Encarnacion tallies another error for UP.
16-10 is our score. She's trying to shake herself, shake off the jitters in her debut here for UP. UP Fighting Maroons down 6 here in this game. Ateneo with a 2-0 lead and a 16-10 lead. And Ateneo looking to finish off the Fighting Maroons. Again, our coverage 4 days a week. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's the schedule. And a quadruple header during Wednesdays, Saturday, and Sunday. We started yesterday, or day number 1. You see the training team and all the supporters of UP, also early Ateneo, some of the names that you already know.
That was a better pass for UP, and yung pag nakakapasa naman sila ng maayos, nasa-set up naman yung mga combination plays nila eh.
Ravenna was there to pick it up and set up Joe Maraginot for the Gatorade-fueled spike of the game.
But for Ateneo, they don't need any combination play. The basic works well for them, and as we can see, Jaja Maraginot setting her up yung ate niya.
September was when she officially committed to Coach O. Ravenna. There's communication there on the Ateneo side to cut the lead down to 6 for the first time. Maris Layog will come into the ball game for Lori Bernardo. Now, Layog has been a spark to UP in previous years. One of those players who returned
She
here.
has a little swag,
Yes,
diba?
yes.
Let's see if that helped them in this game today.
Well, Coach Gotti now looking and searching for answers. Anybody who can provide any kind of spark. Molde. Inaabot si Roma Doromal, the rookie of Ateneo. Not to be confused with Roma Joy Doromal,
Ng NU.
National University, ang ate. Si Roma May Doromal as the second-year player, Valley Gambler. checks in for Jo Maraguinot. It's good to have her back. Good to see her back flying for the Lady Eagles once again. She will sit down first for the sophomore. Tolentino's block. It was Layung and Carlos who collaborated for the rejection.
Now's also a good time for Coach Oliver to, shuffle her players para rin bigyan ng experience yung iba niyang mga players, especially because they have a big game on Saturday. Pero they can't be complacent here.
2 straight points. Normal couldn't get to it. Lead is down to 3. UP looking to make a late charge here as Jamie La Victoria returns to the UAAP and will replace Jaja Maraguinot.
First time we're seeing Jamie back here playing again.
One of 2 players who already left the team, okay? Left the team and then came back. Katulad nito, Kat Tolentino only announced that she was not going to return.
More than their comeback, what I'm excited to see is how much they've matured from the last time they played here in the UAAP.
Especially because they also have had some pro experience.
Yeah.
And La Victoria celebrated there as she breaks the run of UP there. 18 will be serving 14.
The score, 18, serving 14.
Candler on deck. Encarnacion receiving. Carlos from way out. That is not in. So Carlos will get the point.
That was a good shot there for Carlos. The set was really far from the net. It kind of looked like a back row attack na sa line ng set na yon, but she managed to convert it to a point, and that just tells a lot of good things about the kind of player Tots Carlos is.
So Yuri Eslapor is back. Beach volleyball specialist. Partner ni Rosie Rozier. Beach volleyball ni UP. Encarnacion will sit down again. As UP is behind by 3 here, 15 serving 18. Layung makes it a wide serve. Unfortunately, not what they need at this juncture.
That's a costly error right there from Marislay because they're already catching up. They were only down by 3, and it's such a momentum breaker kasi when you play catch up tapos biglang nag-error. But all part of the game. Let's see how they come back from that.
Nice adjustment by Tots in midair. Binawi yung puntos.
Again, Tots Carlos variating her attacks. Kanina nakita natin it was all power and now all smarts.
The score, 16, serving
She has to
19.
work with everything she has right now to rally her team in getting this set.
Molde with a nice serve. Doromal unable to get that one. 17-19. Is there a final last charge here for the Fighting Maroons?
UP trying to build momentum in this part of the set.
And they go back.
Back-to-back aces there.
Tinuro actually ni Godi kung saan dadalhin ni Molde yung service.
That board Coach Goli's holding, it's actually a target for the services of his players.
Kanto, right at the corner. For Molde, down 1. Doromal, perfect first ball this time. Molde pops it up. Carlos will have to twist and give them a chance ball. La Victoria. Tolentino puts it away.
Tolentino.
You need a sure point. Well, you need some sure points. You go to, your veteran. Pumursyento. Etong si La Victoria.
It was a very wide opening there for Kat Tolentino in that down the line angle. And Kat, she could hit at any angle.
Now, yes. Develop that. Gawa ng paraan ni Tots. Faith will send it over. Rem. Reverses to Tots again. Jamie opens to Faith. Faith is checked. But Ravenna was there. Gandler from behind. Nagawa ng paraan. So buhay pa ang bola. Faith extends herself. Eslapor. Sa gitna, Molde. And there's a touch. And the lead is won. 20-19. Coach Oliver does not contest the call because referee Choi Bukid was very sure about the check ball. Sumayan kay Ponggay.
And nag-change ng direction from our angle. Great rally there by UP. Talagang kinapitan yung rally na yon.
Coach Carlos with 10 points, by the way. Desperos, cross court. Dorog. Kailing. Molde sa gitna. That is low. And a chance to tie erased by an attacking error. Was the set too low, Mela? Or talagang yung approach ba ni Molde na huli?
It was actually a good set from Kailing. However, yung approach ni Isa on that set, medyo parang na-late. Naiwan yung katawan niya doon sa backline. Maybe she was a bit conscious with the line. Baka mag-stepping siya, kaya parang hinabol niya lang yung bola.
Crucial timeout here.
You can still push the ball outside. You have to use the block.
Yes, coach.
Yeah. There is no
Basta
fear.
igulo mo lang. Igulo mo lang.
Take your time. Alright? You can get this thing done. You can get the work done. Okay? Let us not use too much energy. Relax, save your energy. But use your everything you do. And blocking is here. We combine the block. We don't leave any seam. Let them go down or cross court. You can cross court.
Shot in the arm for this UP campaign here in this match number 3. The debut of Ateneo and UP. Yes, Mela.
Coach Gary have a very good instruction there sa kanyang previous timeout. Sabi niya, use the hands of the blockers. And, you know, they've been guarded a couple of times sa mga plays nila. But, you know, you could still use the blocking of Ateneo to your advantage by swiping it out. You know, just, you know, get creative with how you convert it to a point.
This time, Yuki Eslapor.
Substitution for the Lady Eagles, number 5, Gender out, number 15.
Yuki Eslapor scoring the point there, down 1, as you saw Professor Kiko, who's always in attendance and always, of course, supporting the Fighting Maroons. Chesma on deck. Sa gitna binigay. Chesma could not keep it up. And it's 22-20. By the way, Joe Maraginot is back. And inupo mo na si Vanny Gandler.
And
Ponggay Gaston, the captain, the new captain, on deck now. That is out. Giving a free point to the Fighting Maroons, who are still alive here in set number 3. The UP men's team winning earlier.
22.
best player in today's game.
Kanina, 22-21 is our score here in the women's game. But Eslapor with a tight serve. Giving away.
UP is being forced to really bank on their serve. Tinatry nilang kargahan. Kasi ang ganda ng reception ng Ateneo kanina pa eh. And then, ayun yan, nag-error sila.
Oh, sarado pinto. Very easy tip block by Kat Tolentino to get them into match point. Triple block. Extension of those fingers for Kat Tolentino. And it's in the hands of the lefty. La Victoria with a sharp serve. Ailing. Dodds. Coromal keeps it up. Sorry, that's Ravenna rather.
Great defense there by Ravenna.
Sa gitna binigay kay Layog.
She couldn't get into that one.
Kumakapit pa itong Fighting Maroons. 22 will be serving 24, and it will be in the hands of the returning Rem Kailing.
Interesting to see how, ADMU's blocking really is in system because dun sa quick play na nilayog, nag-triple block pa sila. You can see the respect and discipline that these players put into their blocking.
Dorog was there for the get. Tots sends it over. La Victoria keeps it up. Doromal to Faith. Eslapor. Tots. Carlos flies. La Victoria sets up Maraguinot. Checked at the net. Faith from behind. That is wide to the left. And UP is down by 1, saving their second match point. Some excitement being injected into this match here at the end. Or will it be the end? UP doesn't want that outcome yet. Let's listen in.
Hey, stop! Okay, no problem. No problem. Balik muna tayo. Okay, nakalog. Hey. Settle down. Compose muna tayo. Na-overwhelm tayo masyado sa balikan ng bola. Diskarte tayo ng tama. We have a strong rotation. One good receive. Ang importante, alam yung gagawin. Cover and be specific. You understand? Be specific.
No instructions there in terms of specifics. This was just a calming down kind of timeout. And since Rem Kailing is serving, that means Ateneo will have the first chance of attack, and they bring back Jaja Maraguinot. Right?
So nice for Coach Oliver to remind the girls also that they have a strong front line.
Relax lang, settle down.
They have 3 spikers at the moment, and all they have to do is pass well because
And sometimes, Bella, that's
they
what a
don't
timeout.
even have to pass.
That's what a timeout does. It ices the server. He tried to calm down his girls, but at the same time, it ices the server, and Rem Kailing sends it to the net. Parang anticlimactic yung dulo natin dito because they were coming and charging back, Mela.
Definitely, and more than the battle between the players, it's also a battle between